There's a pandemic going on, and it's called using the fucking RPG within Warzone, and I'm guilty of using it. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to once again another video. Today I'm going to be talking about why the RPG is now god tier within Warzone. For those who want to counter the RPG because they think it's a little too overpowered right now, before we get into my guide on how to use the RPG in the best way possible, I'll cover how to counter it for you guys that get really annoyed with people using RPGs and spamming them. Also, the gameplay in the background is going to be a 14 kill 5th place, and then I think a 9 kill squad win where I got 9 kills, and I think we finished off with 17 kills, but one of my friends was AFK for the whole game because he had to go eat dinner like 4 seconds into the match before we even jumped from the plane. I did have a 23 kill solo win last night, but I think I only got 2 kills with the RPG, so I'm sticking with the 14 kill 5th place just because I get some nasty RPG plays in there. For those who get annoyed with the RPGs and how abusive they can be in Warzone, the best way to counter is to have the perk EOD in your perk slot 1, which is the blue perks. This perk will reduce enemies' explosive damage on you and will let you survive more rocket explosions as well as just more explosive damage in general. Also, trophy systems that you find from crates while looting help out tremendously. Keep in mind that trophy systems can only stop a total of 3 rockets or explosive projectiles, whether that be grenades or rockets combined. It can only stop 3 before it stops working. So keep in mind, the second that 3rd explosion is stopped from the trophy system, it is now going to stop working, and you're going to have to move or fight or escape, or you're going to have to do something in action to get away from dying from the next explosion. Also, great ways to counter the RPG is to be constantly moving. Don't be sitting in one space, because if one person is standing in one place for too long and someone has an RPG, you're an easy target for that player with the RPG. It only takes 2 rockets to down you if you got full shield, if it's just from the explosive damage radius. Or if it direct impacts you, it can one-shot kill you regardless of your health or regardless of EOD. So keep in mind, if you're direct impacted with an RPG rocket, you're dead no matter what, or downed no matter what. Also, keep in mind that you can kill multiple people with an RPG. So if you're ever getting fired at from RPGs or rockets from any launcher, you and your team should split up briefly and regroup after you either kill the team with the rocket launchers or escape, just because if you're all grouped together in a single area and multiple launchers are being fired at you, or one person's just reloading and shooting at you over and over again, you're gonna have to escape eventually, and if you're just clustered together, you're all gonna die at the same time. So unfortunately, that's just how it goes. If you are in vehicles, you can escape very easily if you're constantly moving. However, if the person with the RPG is really good with it and kind of cracked, you're gonna get shot in a car. And unfortunately, in helicopters, if you're taking off, standing still, or landing, chances of you getting hit with the RPG are very high and escape is very minimal. The best way in a team scenario, either duos, trios, or squads, to avoid dying from rocket launchers in vehicles is going to be to take multiple vehicles. If you are all in the same vehicle, the same thing applies to if you're all in the same area. If that one vehicle gets destroyed while you're all in it, you're all going to die. But if you're all in multiple vehicles, so if you're in multiple cars or multiple helicopters and only one person gets shot, only that one person is going to die and the other 2 can escape. Going into the perks I use, for the perk slot 1 and 2, which are the blue and red perks, I run Cold-Blooded and Ghost. This is just so I can play more stealthily within Warzone. It's pretty straightforward. Ghost will keep you off of heartbeat sensors and off the radar when UAVs are called in, and Cold-Blooded will hide you from enemy thermal scopes. So that's just the best perks that I use to play stealthily. Of course, if there's any other 2 perks in those categories, you can use whatever you want. For the yellow category or the perk slot 3, I will either use Amped or Shrapnel. Now, Amped makes your rocket reload speed a lot faster, as well as switching weapons a lot easier, and you can use some equipment faster, so C4 grenades and stuff like that, you can pull it a little bit faster. However, I like to use Amped just to reload my rockets faster while spamming rockets at a team. If you're not too worried about speed with the rocket launcher, you can use Shrapnel, which will actually have your explosive damage delay enemies from healing. So it's kind of like frangible disabling for the weapon perk, just as an actual perk for explosives. And this carries over to any explosive too, so grenades or cluster strikes or just car explosions. If you do have shrapnel on, when you hit enemies with the launcher, they won't have time to heal. However, they still can put shield in, but their base health won't regen unless they have a stim. So those 2 perks are the best to use for the launchers. If you're not too worried about launcher perks, I would run spotter so you can track footsteps. And if you don't like tracking footsteps, then use any other perk you want. I don't really have any recommendations. Those are my perk recommendations. Let's move on to how to get ammo. Getting ammo with the rocket launcher and the RPG in specific can be hard sometimes in the game just because finding rockets on the ground can be very rare. What I tend to do is I will just have my team and me loot an area. At the end of looting that area, I'll say, hey, does anyone have rockets? If so, they'll drop into me, and then I'll have rockets. If you can't find rockets looting, then you can get an ammo crate or an ammo refill. There's a few big ones that spawn around the map that are the exact same ammo refills that are in Ground War. However, you can also buy a munitions box for 5,000 points at any store that will give you a full ammo in the 2 guns you are carrying. If you ever do find extra rockets and you're the only person on your team with an RPG, get your friends to pick up the extra rockets because they can be like little mini ammo storage centers for you. The RPG can only hold 6 in reserve and 1 in the actual launcher at a time, so a total of 7 shots. So you can use those 7 shots very quickly, and if you don't have a steady supply of rockets or munitions crates, you can run out of ammo and get screwed over very easily. So keep munitions boxes 24/7 if you can. If not, have your teammates help you out and carry some extra rockets for you. Best scenarios for the rocket launcher are going to be close range scenarios. Very rarely will you hit long shots with the launchers. What I like to do is if I see a vehicle driving by, I will lead my shot to destroy the vehicle or disable it. Once that vehicle is disabled, I will either go into attack mode with the M13 or I'll just spam rockets if I have the high ground on where that enemy is running, just to get an easy kill or 2. Also, the best way to get kills is going to be with enemies that are in rooms or areas with only 1 entrance and exit. So because they're only going to have 1 way in and out, that's the same place, you can just fire rockets in there, especially if it's a condensed area. So in the gameplay, you'll see me in a boneyard finish, and there's enemies hiding in planes that only have 1 entrance. And I know they're in there because I'm picking them up with the heartbeat sensor, which is a very good equipment to use with the launchers, or just in general in the game, because it's like a pocket UAV, and it'll let you know where enemies are. But if I have an enemy pinned in an area where I know they can't escape from, I'll just shoot some rockets in there, down them, and finish them, and they can't do anything about it because they either sit in there and hope I run out of rockets, or they try to escape and expose themselves to the rest of my team. And if you're playing solo, of course, it's a little bit different. If they start to expose themselves, you just pull out your bullet weapon and get an easy killer here or there. Honestly, the RPG is probably my favorite secondary right now. My team dynamic right now, we all have our primary as our favorite assault rifle, so I think mine's the M13. I think Rex the Fry is also the M13, and I think Flash is using the M4A1 right now. And Rex's secondary is the Akimbo Snake Shots, as well as Flash is also Akimbo Snake Shots, and I'm the RPG. Of course, you're not going to want to use the RPG if the person is right in front of you. Sometimes you can get away with a direct impact kill if you're very lucky or very skilled with the RPG. Some situations you will be damaging yourself with the RPG, so just keep in mind, if you're shooting at close quarters where you're in your own blast radius, you can damage yourself too and end up killing yourself, or leaving your health so low that the enemy you're trying to kill can kill you and pick you off pretty easily. That's going to be the guide for today, and covering everything I know with the RPG. Of course, some of this is going to be straightforward, easy stuff that most people know about. Some of it's just going to be some basic tips and tricks, and some people aren't going to know how to use the RPG at all because this is their first time playing Warzone or a Call of Duty game in general. I hope you guys did enjoy. If there are any changes to how the RPG works, I will leave a pinned comment. That will be at the top of the comments, as well as I will copy and paste that comment into the description. So if anything changes, check the top of the comments or the description. Leave a like if you did enjoy, dislike if you didn't. Check the description for not only the updates, but for the Discord to join us on game nights. I'm about to head out, and if there is one, I will see you in the next one. Peace.